So what are the most consistent mistakes that you see? We can stick with, I think, because you know the photography community so well, and you've interacted with so many photographers. This can, I'm sure, be extrapolated to creatives in general, which is pretty much everyone.
Right, and that's
unless
the
you're
point
a
that I was trying to
cyborg,
make.
unless you're like Bishop from Aliens, you have to be creative in some fashion.
Yes.
What are the most common mistakes that you see, or just like the repetitive problems that you see?
So there's a handful, and I think it does apply, like you just prefaced, across every discipline. The being great at your craft is a requirement.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wouldn't suggest that you don't try and get work or hustle or do all those other things while you're coming up, because that's a part of the game, and that's, Gary Vee is a big advocate for hustling, and so you got to hustle your whole way, but being great at your craft actually matters.
Yeah, yeah.
And having like the camera is like an extension of my arm, and you think about it, I have used the pro golf analogy. I don't know why I'm not crazy about golf, but those guys have to, and women, have to stand up on the tee and hit the ball down the middle, because that's what they're paid to do. It doesn't matter if it's raining, sunny, windy, if there's 10 people watching or 10 million, they're paid to hit the ball down the middle. And as an artist, you're paid to make, and as an entrepreneur, you're paid to deliver the ROI to the shareholders, and as a wrestler, you're paid to win, or like whatever your thing is, you have to be great at your craft in order to, I think, achieve. So there's this 10,000 hours, hardcore, the folks that I think are great, whether they're hacking the system and doing it in 10 hours or 10,000, that is, I think people want to skip that step.
Yeah, I get, for every email that I get about the craft of writing, I get 1,000 about how to market books. And I'm just like, hold on, the ratio's all wrong. So no, I would agree with that.
And so that gets overlooked. Like, I just want to be this awesome fashion photographer and hang out with like awesome, beautiful people in crazy locations. And it's like, dude, you got to be like, actually pick up a camera and get good at that shit first, and then you might be able to do,
all the glamorous.
The second part. So I think that's a common mistake. The second one is that I think there's a belief that people who are successful, either they can sell themselves really well and they're natural at it. Like, I was a natural hard worker, but not a gifted like positioner and seller, and that was all learned in the same way that some of the stuff we talked about earlier was learned. The art of negotiation, the art of positioning yourself in the marketplace, of telling your story. That is not, at least it wasn't innate for me. And I had to learn that. So there's another belief that, if you have talent, then you just are successful, which is a total crock of horseshit. It's total bullshit. Ryan Holiday talks a lot about this. You have to like.
What is that? I mean, it's someone else's quote, but it's like there's nothing more common than, what is it, the unsuccessful man with talent or something like that. It's just
they're tired for sure, because there's so many of them. That idea of once you make something that if it's great it will just be discovered is totally fiction. The people that I know that are successful, as soon as it's done the making part, then it's about packaging. And frankly, the narrative, like being a good storyteller, is mission critical to having your idea, project, plan, work, vision, company, whatever, spread. So being able to tell a good story is another thing that people overlook. So being great at your craft, actually working hard to sell and position, the art of storytelling as a mechanism to get your stuff out there. Those are huge things, both of which either people want to skip, or where people think that I don't have that gift, therefore I can't do it. Or that guy's a jackass because he's not a real talent. He's actually just as great at selling himself. But what actually matters is that person over there is doing the shit that you're not doing. They are. They're a New York Times best-selling author. So Tim got up, sat down at his computer, wrote every day until he had an 8,000-page book, and then narrowed it down to 400 pages, and then sold 1 million copies. Like
they did stop that 8,000-page stuff. Oh my God!
I think
killer.
You had a backpack full of like. I was like, are those actual pages that are in there?
Oh my God! So